Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top 5 New Comics for May 21st of 2025. I am, as always, Chris, and let's jump into these awesome books, starting with DC Cross Sonic the Hedgehog #3. It's written by Ian Flynn, with art by Bryce Thomas, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Becca Carey. This book has been such a blast. It's a crossover I could have never imagined ever happening in an infinite multiverse, if you will. I have enjoyed just the fun nature of it, the serious story behind it. You know, Darkseid coming to Sonic's universe, trying to get the Chaos Emeralds, succeeding, and then the Justice League in issue 2 sacrificing themselves to bring Sonic and his crew to the DC universe and meeting up with some of the other characters in DC. So we got to see their interactions with the Justice League proper, as we know them from the Justice League movie or the New 52 Justice League, and how they interact there on Sonic's world. Well, now Sonic and his crew are coming to the DC universe, and the first person they meet's Mr. Terrific. I'm excited to see them meet some of the other characters involved. It looks like from the cover that they're going to get to take on the persona of their counterparts from the Justice League. There's a lot of like just fun to be had here. And at the end of the day, that's what makes this book special for me, is that it's just a good time. Written by a guy in Ian Flynn that's written so much Sonic the Hedgehog over his career. To see him get a spotlight in a mainstream DC book like this is amazing. And the art team has been killing it with making a comic that has the DC style to it while also keeping with the Sonic the Hedgehog comic style that we've come to know over the decades of Sonic the Hedgehog books. It's a fun, fun book. You should definitely be checking this one out. After that, I have Redcoat #12. This is written by Geoff Johns with art by Bryan Hitch, inks by Andrew Currie, and colors by Brad Anderson, with letters by Leigh. In the last issue, we got to see Redcoat during a time of strife in our history and how he's dealing with it. We're talking about the Civil War here. He's kind of a mercenary for both sides, does whatever he needs to get by, when this new character that's been teased since I think issue 1, the Northerner, pops up. And if not, the Northerner has been on the timeline of the Ghost Machine books for a long time. And we get to see this character who seems to be dressed in Civil War garb, obviously a Northern Army soldier. And he comes through in this weird way to help a child stuck in some sort of slave encampment factory, however you want to put it, during this time. And when he appears, you can tell right away that there's some sort of time travel thing going on here, because he is pulling out machine guns and modern day pistols and all these things. And he needs Simon Pure for something. So now we're going to get into that story more, that we've got an introduction of all these characters. It was a really good issue, and I'm just excited to see where they take these characters moving forward. And after that, I have Bug Wars #4. It's written by Jason Aaron with art by Mahmud Asrar, colors by Matt Wilson, and letters by Becca Carey. This has been a really fun book, and I've listened to a few interviews with both Jason and Mahmud about the book and just what has gone into making this thing a reality. And I'll say the final product so far has been phenomenal. We've got this great world they build. It's almost a fantasy-esque world, but it takes place in someone's backyard with all these great bugs and creatures going on, these civilizations that are living inside the grass of our backyard, and how things are affected by things that we as humans do, such as mowing our lawns. And at the core of it is this kid who finds an amulet and has become some sort of mystical warrior for these people. It's an awesome fantasy book with some great action sequences throughout it, a good through line and mythology behind everything, and some of the best art I've seen in a comic in a while, in terms of a creator-owned, completely from scratch book. It's just a phenomenal series that I think that everybody should be checking out in some way, especially if you're a Jason Aaron fan and you liked what he did with things like Conan the Barbarian, for instance. It's really of that vein, of that feel and style. And after that, I have Vatican City #2. This is written by Mark Millar with art by Per Berg. I really love this first issue. It's, if you didn't know, it's basically vampires take over, and they have just decimated the human population across the world in one night. But as people at the Vatican City in Rome are there, they realize that these vampires can't come on the grounds because it is sacred ground, and vampires cannot enter sacred ground. So we find out that the vampires have taken on some human hostages that are working for them in some way. So they're able to get into the Vatican City for some reason, not killing a bunch of the civilians or anything, but just entering, going on a mission. And we find out the last page of the last issue, the big twist, what makes this book unique to me, and is something that I'm really looking forward to as a vampire fan, is that this whole time in the Vatican City was built and created into sacred ground to hold the vampire queen at bay. It was an awesome twist. I really thought it was cool. I love the imagery and the world that's built here, and just looking forward to see, like, how are the people and these civilians going to deal with this? Like, they brought in tanks and military personnel to go into the city and figure this all out. So there's a lot of intriguing things here, a lot of good world building happening in that first issue, and I mean, it looks like it's gonna be an awesome vampire book. So this is gonna be one of those possibly top of the stack books this week. And then we will end with Whatever Happened to Crimson Justice #1. This is written by Frank Thierry with art by Inaki Miranda, colors by Ava De La Cruz, and letters by Dave Sharp. I remember when this book was announced, and I thought it was a cool premise. One that I can't remember ever reading before, but I'm sure has happened in the past. But it's all about how we receive the story, or how the story is delivered more than anything. And it's basically, we have this Crimson Justice character. It seems like a Batman-esque character with his sidekick that have been fighting crime in the city forever, but then one day, against his arch foe, Dr. Mayhem, something happens and both disappear. They're gone, and nobody knows what happened. So the age of the hero is gone, like everything that they did, and things went back to quote unquote normal. Well, somewhere along the line, Dr. Mayhem reappears and is calling out Crimson Justice and is saying, I dare you to come back out and do this. So people are trying to figure out, is he still alive? Is what happened on that fateful day with Crimson Justice? And just, will he return? Like, is he still around? There's so many cool things that can happen in the story. I love the idea of a nice little like mystery story involving these superhero characters, and to have it at a place like Mad Cave is always a good idea. Like, they have an eye for good books and an eye for talent, and they've got an amazing creative team here. I mean, if you haven't been following Frank Thierry for a while, he's been doing a lot of great stuff. Recently, the Godzilla books he's been doing, so a lot of cool stuff happening here. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, if you want to follow me further, there is the podcast, Fortress Comic News Podcast, we do every week. You can watch those videos on YouTube or listen to it on your favorite podcatcher of choice. And then there's my Substack, which is chriscomicscorner.substack.com. And you can follow me on social media at Fortress Chris. So once again, thank you all so much, and we'll see y'all here next week.